bring our time people together to a beautiful close.
We would like to take this moment. You have all your foundation and have inspired Rotary members into greater action. I'd like to ask the past Rotary presidents that are here right now to stand and be recognized. Will you stand if you're in the building? Yes.
Thank you so much. Big round of applause to the past president. Every past president has made Rotary. Your legacy lives in every function in this room and in every community we serve around the world. And now, on to the future.
The future. I've had such an amazing time here with all of you. I kind of don't want to let go of the moment. But let's look to the future. I'm already getting excited to see some of you at next year's convention. So let's explore what's waiting for us next year in Barcelona. Uptown California, USA, the amazing Brad Howard.
Good afternoon. Buenas tardes. Thank you. Fate. Fate, it has a way of rerouting us away from the path we thought we were on and towards other opportunities that we never saw coming. Welcome to the 2027 Convention World Tour. Yeah, it's been a journey that has taken over the past 14 months that included 3 continents, but it also allowed us to see a true expression of Rotary's ability to adapt, to innovate, to be flexible and resilient, but laser focused on creating an event that will have lasting impact on you.
2026년
And now,
국제 로터리 타이페이
faith has
세계
brought us to the
개막식을
home,
진행 중입니다.
Nuestra Casa, of the 2027 convention in beautiful Barcelona, España. Please. And yes, this will be the last stop on the tour. Please. Before sharing more about Barcelona, please join me in thanking the Rotary members of District 5000, our original gracious host for the first stop of the World Tour, Honolulu.
지금은 2027년
Aloha and mahalo.
국제 로터리 바르셀로나 세계대회 홍보를
We
하고
look forward to
있습니다.
experiencing the warmth of the land and its people at the 2032 convention. Please also join me in expressing our deep appreciation for Rotary members in Dubai and in District 2452. Those folks stepped forward with extraordinary generosity when they offered to host the 2027 convention on an accelerated timeline. They will now welcome the Rotary world in 2029. And it'll undoubtedly be an extraordinary landmark experience in one of the world's most remarkable cities. But fortunately, fate also gave us Rotary members of Barcelona and all of Iberia. I saw one person clap. You could join her. Thank you. Rotary districts from all across Spain and Portugal are coming together to open their city, their culture, and their remarkable hospitality to the world. Barcelona is one of those rare places that if you've already been there, you want to go back. And if you haven't been there, it's on your bucket list. In 2027, Rotary members from all around the globe will experience the city alive with energy, beauty, creativity, and soul. From the breathtaking architecture of Gaudi, to the lively plazas, the Mediterranean coastline, extraordinary cuisine, inclusive culture, seaside promenades, and vibrant nightlife. Barcelona inspires at every turn. It's a city built for discovery, for connection, for celebration and joy, and for the Rotary Convention. But Barcelona 27 will be far more than a convention. It will be a convention done a little differently. Now, we're not simply organizing meetings and events. What we are doing is producing a show. From the opening moments to the final farewell, Barcelona 27 will be a sensory journey of music, art, architecture, culture, and emotion. It will celebrate Rotary's heritage, showcase the impact we are making today, and illuminate the future we are creating together. You'll hear stories of lives transformed in communities of the world. You will hear from partners who will see Rotary as a force for good. And most importantly, you'll be reminded that Rotary does not only create change in the community, it has lasting impact on us. Now we need your help to carry the excitement for Barcelona back to your clubs, your districts, and friends all around the world. Now, many of you visited the booth here in the House of Friendship, the Barcelona booth, to sign up so that you could be amongst the first to receive the information about when our registration period opened in September. Now, when you return home, I'd like to ask you to please ask the other Rotary members in your club, in your districts, and worldwide to also go to the convention page on the Rotary website to sign up so that they too can be amongst the first to join us in Barcelona for an unforgettable experience. Fate brought us to Barcelona. Now it's your turn to help us to bring the world there, to gather in a city for a convention unlike anything Rotary has ever had, as we celebrate friendship, inspiration, service, and the lasting change we create across the world in our communities and in ourselves. I look forward to seeing all of you in Barcelona. Thank you.
While I'm officially starting my countdown, Barcelona is going to be magnificent. Our next speaker is someone who pours her entire heart into youth leadership and empowerment. So welcome from the Rotary Club of Panorama, Thessaloniki, Greece, Assistant Governor of District 2475, Dr. Kapanini.
For a start, thank you, Betty, for pronouncing my name correctly. Good afternoon, my beautiful, big Rotary family. Something here today is deeply emotional to me. Because when people see someone on the stage holding a microphone, or in my case, wearing a microphone, they often assume that the confidence was always there. They assume that the leadership came naturally. They assume that the journey was always clear. Mine was not. I was once a young person sitting quietly in the back of the room, wondering whether my voice mattered at all. And that is why this youth empowerment is not simply about giving young people opportunities. It is about ensuring that they believe they belong in the future they dream about. Rotary and Rotary did that for me. Rotary started as a youth program and has evolved as a space where young people discover who they are, what they stand for, and what they can become. And because someone believed in me, I made a promise that if one door opened for me, I would spend my life opening doors for others, and especially for young women who have been told to stay silent, stay small, or stay afraid. I remember one project that changed me forever. It was through my Rotary Club. We partnered with an orphanage called Melissa. In Greek, it's the honeybee, which housed girls that were removed from their homes with court orders. On the first day, the girls walked in slowly, almost hesitantly, as if they were entering a place they were not sure they were allowed to occupy. Someone stood near the door. Some sat with their arms folded. Most avoided eye contact completely. We started with a simple question. What do you want your life to look like in 5 years? Silence. Not because they had no dreams, but because they had never been asked. Then one girl, maybe 16, 17 years old, whispered something so softly I almost missed it. I don't think I'll be here in 5 years. And then she smiled slightly, as if that was just a fact of life. That moment stayed with me until today. It was like it was yesterday. Over the weeks, we didn't try to fix anything. We just showed up consistently, patiently. We listened more than we spoke. We asked them to lead small things, group discussion, storytelling exercises, and simple teamwork activities. Slowly, something began to shift. One girl who never spoke started volunteering to write things on the board. Another began correcting the other one's Greek words, then laughing when she realized she was participating. And then there was a young woman who always arrived early and sat at the very back, hoodie pulled over her head, eyes down the entire time. For weeks during the group, she said almost nothing. But one day, during a group exercise about how we imagine your future selves, she then louder, then I spoke. Months later, the same young woman helped us to facilitate the next cycle of the program for younger girls. Not because she became another person, but because she finally saw who she already was. That project taught me something I will never forget. We often think empowerment is about giving people strength, but more often it is about removing the silence that hides it. And I have come to understand that peace is built in the same way. It arises in spaces where people feel seen and valued, until conflict no longer feels like the only language available to them. You should all know that Rotary has now a historic opportunity, not only to empower young people, but to actively save peace in communities where division has become normal and silence has replaced dialogue. I once heard something that stayed with me very deeply. The definition of hell is that on the last day on earth, the person you became makes the person you could have become. Because unfulfilled human potential is not only a personal tragedy, it is also where many conflicts begin. And I think about it very often, not only for ourselves as individuals, but for our communities and our world. Because so many young people are full of potential they have never been given the chance to discover. So many young women have dreams they were taught to silence before they could even speak them out loud. That's why empowerment is. Because when we help a young person believe in themselves, we are not only changing our life, we are changing the future that life will help create. Because this building today requires more than voice. It requires empathy. It requires listening. It requires inclusive leadership. It requires empowering young people not only to participate in conversations, but to actually say them. And in difficult moments, I often remember something my mother always told me. In English, the word good has 3 letters, but so does joy. Hate has 4 letters, but so does love. Lying has 5 letters, but so does truth. Enemies has 7 letters, but so does friends. Failure has 7 letters, but so does success. And negativity has 10 letters, but so does positivity. Regardless of the language you speak and the number of letters in these words, the important message is how we show up for each other and choose to treat one another's others. We always have a choice. And this building at its core is the courage to choose the better side of humanity, to choose understanding instead of division, to choose compassion instead of indifference, to choose hope instead of fear. And I want to say something directly to every Rotary member, every person here today. Never underestimate the impact of believing in a young person. Rotary has people, helpful people who encourage, appreciative people, compliment, successful people who support. And I truly believe that this is one of the greatest strengths in this family, in this big, beautiful Rotary family. People here do not simply build projects, they build people. They see potential before the world sees results. They encourage before confidence exists. They support before success becomes visible. That kind of environment can transform a human life. Today, as we close this convention, I do not want us to live uninspired. I want us to live committed. Committed to listening more deeply, committed to empowering more boldly, committed to building peace more intentionally. Not as an abstract idea, but as a daily practice in how we listen, include, and mainly act. When we do that, we are not just working for good individually. We are learning how to unite for good to create lasting impact. Because, my friends, if Rotary and Rotary continue walking side by side with trust, courage, and shared purpose, then I truly believe that the next generation will not inherit a more divided world. They will inherit a more compassionate one. Thank you.
Thank you for inspiring us, Dr. Bosniak. 4 letters in hate and 4 letters in love. Hopefully you take a little love back to our Rotary clubs. Through this convention, we have found inspiration in a variety of ways. We've been inspired by stories, just like the ones you just heard. We've been inspired by music. We've been inspired by dance, and even acrobatics. And now, let's find inspiration through poetry. Our next guest is sure to not just entertain, but to touch your heart and stir your spirit. Though remarkably young, her voice has resonated around the world on the most prestigious stages: the White House, the United Nations, the Golden Globes, and the NFL halftime show. And in 2025, she made history as the youngest speaker ever on the TED main stage. She uses words the way that Rotary uses service, to move people, to open hearts, and remind us of what we share. So, please welcome the 7th National Youth Poet Laureate of the United States, Soloni Araroshi.
When I was yay high, my hopes were way higher, inspired by the attire. If you just believe, they said, everything bleak becomes beautiful, the pebbles become pearls, and we all get our happy endings. But when I outgrew those glass slivers, I saw no hope upon our screens. No hope in the children's screams. As the story unfolds, more smoke unfurls, and all of a sudden I'm back talking at the pandemic history, asking, Is there more to the story? Or is happily ever after only a thing of fiction? But then I remember that the hero's journey is long and hard and only ever won in the final act. And the valiant protagonist of this epic called Earth is named Hope. But this hope isn't the idle optimist that sits on stumps plucking petals. Instead, we are getting our hands dirty and planting the seeds ourselves. This hope is wishing on a lucky star. It is imagining a future where the stars are visible in the first place. Past the clouds of CO2 we struggle seeing through this story. Women across the globe are their own knights in shining armor. Or presidents, or bankers, or mothers, or farmers. Hope is a call to be and a claim for yet to be. Hope is the hero. I'm not concerned with whether we call it a glass half full or a glass half empty. This hope is ensuring that there is clean water in that glass today, tomorrow, and every tomorrow after that. We are not pitching lucky borders and growing them into wishing wells. We are convening in common quarters to protect and preserve health and wellness. This is the difference between a wish and a goal. We do not seek magic potions or genies in bottles. We exercise our devotion with potential at full throttle. So for the time we have left, marvel at the mountains we scaled, at the dragons we slain, and remember that the sweetest victories are the ones with the buzzer-beater turnarounds. When the hero, on their lowest bars of health, falls face to face with certain defeat, but with faith rises to their feet and fights on. Hope is not the way that we hope, but the way that we conquer. So this moment and beyond, we are crossing our fingers, we're crossing finish lines. Let's write a finale worthy of applause, because every life on this planet has its own narrative, worthy and deserving of its own happily ever after. Hi, Rotary members. How are you feeling tonight or this evening after the time that I subscribe to? My name is Salome. I'm Rotary, and thank you so much, Rotary, for allowing me to share my work with a community of such dedicated change makers and peacemakers. The piece you just heard is called hope, a word that comes up so often as we work towards a better future. But oftentimes, this word feels empty. Like the smoke in a mirror we call legacy. Everything feels heavy at this point. And with the weight of the world on our shoulders, the eggshells that we walk on can't help but pierce the bottoms of our feet. So how can we feel hope when we only read of war, we read of famine, we read of hatred? Well, two things I know is that history does not favor passivity, and justice rewards those who hold it firmly in their hands, wedged tightly between the hands of their neighbors. So when you change hope from an act to an action, we get much closer to building the world we aspire to. This Rotary convention is a very special one. Here we are gathered in Taiwan, a major player on the global stage for artificial intelligence and technological innovation for semiconductor chips. We are on the cusp of a world we haven't yet seen, with the unknown potential for AI and other breakthroughs to completely rewrite how we live, how we work, how we relate to each other as human beings, for better or for worse. As a Harvard student dedicating my studies to evaluate psychological effects on society, and as a cell phone addicted Gen Zer, it is impossible to ignore the global focus on the tech frontier. But if you ask me, I'd say media outlets and think tanks have their sights too set on a future that may not even exist. Hundreds of millions of people are still burdened by disease, war, climate change, more threats to prosperity. However, on the right side, notable progress has been made. The global under 5 mortality rate has declined by roughly 60% since 1990. Yes. Rotary, with the World Health Organization, UNICEF, and other partners, have reduced polio cases by 99.9% globally. That requires applause. So in the midst of all this good and all this progress, why do we still see so much suffering in the world? Well, that's because global inequality works harder than our rivals. As some of us reap the sweetness at the peak of this prosperity, others are left to survive the remnants of a forgotten time. This is the equivalent of having a pool party while your next door neighbor dies of thirst. On our journey to the new frontier, it is imperative we do not leave our brothers and sisters behind. Just as we innovate technologically, we must innovate new paths to global peace. Just as we learned in science class that nuclear fusion produces huge amounts of energy, can we not hold our microscopes to the small cracks in our communities and find ways to fuse the broken pieces? You, Rotary members, are the scientists and engineers of the small social revolutions that achieve great and measurable good. As the 7th National Youth Laureate of the United States, I have had the honor to lend my voice to amazing spaces like this and similar forums like the United Nations and the Economic Forum. I am consistently amazed by the brilliance of the leaders and innovators that make my acquaintance. I also find myself on smaller but equally important stages like high school classrooms and public libraries, giving back to the community. Yet, as a poet and speaker, only 10% of my work is done on a stage like this. You might ask, what's the other 90%? Well, the other 90% are the conversations I have in my everyday life. So when I urge policymakers to make multilateral peace agreements, when I'm encouraging the young girl in the library to believe in herself, when I speak about people, I'm talking about more than just statistics and figures on a quarterly report. I'm talking about real relationships that find a place in my heart even before the poetic words leave my mouth. The Rotary family is born with so much diversity. You may be a sustainable farmer, or a CEO of a nonprofit, an economic policy advisor, an environmentalist, or for now, just a curious observer. That is your 10%. The grant applications I know you all know way too well, the spreadsheets, the daily DVDs, and the goal setting. But the 90% is when you are a Rotary member in every single room you enter, which means you are a lifelong community member and solution seeker. This spirit of community through conversation is exactly what we all have embraced with mastery at each day of this Rotary Convention. You've taken the time to learn from each other, possibly civically disagree and talk about it later at your hotels, and dare to be changed because of it to achieve the common goal of a better world. This is why the Rotary causes are so important. For Rotary members, people are not the periphery. People are the principle, the purpose. So as we leave this convention and go back to serving your communities, I ask you, what's your 90? How does your life beyond the boardroom support the work we've committed to professional lives? And remember that the future isn't ours to enjoy without the efforts we make today to actively shape it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Salome. Thank you for your beautiful poetry and your passion. That is truly touching. There are moments moments in the convention that stay with you long after the speech, and I believe this is one of them. And now, let's recognize some Rotary members who have made all of this possible. Many people have worked diligently to make this convention a reality, and now we have the privilege of having some of them on stage with us today. To introduce the dedicated teams who brought this convention to life, please welcome President Francesco.
The International Convention Committee has entered on one of our best attended Rotary Convention in years.
프란체스코 아레조
And we are
파이널
eternally
스피치.
grateful to their flexibility and determination to make this convention such a success. So, please join me in welcoming the 2026 International Convention Committee.
이건 2016 컨벤션 준비위원회 소개를
From Germany, Herr Andreas von Muller. From Canada, Vice Chair Michelle Guy. From New Zealand, Rebecca Gidley. From Jamaica, Aresh Ramchandani. From India, Jawahar Vallamani. From Germany, Christine Onger Knack. From Malta, advisor to the committee, John De Giorgio. From Kenya, advisor to the committee, Vida Manek. And from Taiwan, HOC Chair, Jackson Sien. You are popular in Taiwan. Chair Andreas, on behalf of the attendees of this convention and Rotary members around the world, I would like to present you with this plaque as a token of gratitude to you and the convention committee for all your hard work and effort to make this event a success. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay. Now, please welcome to the stage a group of people who have also spent many hours preparing for this convention. Many hours, many days, many months. So let us give a warm round of applause to the Taipei Organization Committee. Jackson, on behalf of the attendees of this convention and Rotary members around the world, I want to thank the host organization committee for the efforts that made the 2026 convention a great success. It's because of you. Thank you so much. Wonderful group of people. Well, let us give another round of applause for the ICC and HOC. Thank you. Wonderful people. Thank you. It was a great honor to work with you. Also you, great people. And finally, I would like to recognize another hard-working group of individuals who helped ensure the success of this convention. Please give a huge round of applause for our 2026 convention sergeant d'armes, led by Mr. Frank Ramadan and Pastor Mallamani. Now I think we are ready for some more music. Do you agree?
Yes.
Well, now, two members of this group have a last name that probably you must recognize. However, in 2017, Lorenzo Di Citra won X Factor Italy, capturing the hearts of both audiences and critics with his distinctive style that beautifully blends pop and classical opera. As a proud ambassador of Italian bel canto, he has enchanted audiences all over the world, including a historic performance at the United Nations headquarters in New York. So, please welcome Alice Mascritti, Lorenzo Di Citra, Nico Arezzo and Bette Arezzo Pinter. Arezzo, it is familiar to me, this name. Welcome. I leave to you the audience. Good luck.
quando fanno lo sole se scende e viene quasi una politica sotto a finestra voglia restare quando fa notte lo sole se scende. Dove il mare luce tra fuori il vento, una vecchia ragazza anche al golfo di Soriano. Un uomo abbraccia una ragazza che aveva pianto, si schiarisce la voce comincia il canto e voglio bene assai, ma tanto bene sai e con un po' di trucco con la mia ma diventato ma due occhi che ti guardano si vicini ascoltare le parole confondono i pensieri diventa tutto qui come la scia domenica e voglio bene It's a great pleasure for us to be here. Thank you. Play our Italian music with heart and with soul for you. Thank you. Sincere. Applause. Stop. One applause. 1, 2, 3. Stop. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Sincere. Excuse me for my English is very bad, but to finish our performance, standing ovation, okay? On drums, Mr. Pepe Tringali. On bass, Mr. Filippo Di Pietro. On keyboards, Mr. Vincenzo Fontes. And a wonderful voice, Miss Alice Mascritti. Standing ovation at the end. No. Nico Marezzo. And Mr. Lorenzo Vicitra. Thank you, so.
Pepe Arezzo.
Thank you, Rotary International. Thank you, Francesco Arezzo. Thank you. Thank you, Susu. Rebecca, Tracy, Melissa, and Marco. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Susu. Good music for all.
There are places in this world where Rotary history does more than speak. It resonates. Where the past does more than remind us. It calls us forward. The Paul and Jane Harris School is one of those places. Within these walls, Rotary's founding spirit was nurtured and flourished. A spirit built on friendship, on integrity, on the belief that when people sit together, face to face, heart to heart, they can imagine a better world and make it happen. This home is not simply a historic landmark. It is a living symbol of who we are. A testament to the values that have guided us for more than a century, and the values that must guide us still. Working together, we can ensure that this place remains alive, accessible, and inspiration for generations to come. Let us do more than honor the past. Let us inspire the future. Let us sustain the Harris School so that every visitor, today and tomorrow, can feel the spark that started it all. Together, we can move history forward.
For this wonderful closing session. And now we have even more to celebrate, the chance to meet with the upcoming Rotary International President-elect. He is...
다음은 2027년 올림픽 하팀 바바로라.
So please welcome from the Rotary Club of Kansas City Plaza, Missouri, USA, your president nominee,
레리 리펀드 차차기 회장님의 소개합니다.
their son, Ben, and wife, Ellie, and their 2.5-year-old son, Griffin. Let's give them a big round of applause!
어린이한테 보도에 많이 하도록 되겠어요.
Thank you, Betty, and thank you to this family of Rotary for such a warm welcome. I certainly feel your love and support. Family of Rotary, my family is the center of my life. Jill has been my steadfast partner, and I will always be thankful for her. She and I are so proud of our children, and when we look at our grandson, Griffin, we now see the world through his eyes. As a member of Rotary, I now find myself asking, what world am I leaving for Griffin? It's a question we should consider every day that we serve through Rotary. Will we work for a peaceful future for our children and grandchildren? As members of Rotary, we come together, work toward the same goals, and speak with one voice. That's why I'm so thankful for President Francesco and his timely message, Unite for Good. Soon, Yinka's leadership and vision will help us create lasting impact, not only in our world and in our communities, but in ourselves. I also believe strongly in the power of education and the opportunities it can unlock for people. You could say that I am enveloped in education. My wife Jill works in education. Our daughter works in education. Our daughter-in-law works in education. I even started my Rotary journey in education. In 1982, those years ago, I was a Rotary Foundation Ambassadorial Scholar. That opportunity took me to Australia, a place that became a second home to me. My time in Australia certainly expanded my education and my worldview. I experienced firsthand, daily, for 9 months, Rotary's reach and impact on the world. After that, I formally joined Rotary in 1991. Now, as a proud beneficiary of our Rotary Foundation, I stand before you as the President nominee of Rotary International. And I am deeply humbled and honored to accept the position of President-elect on 1 July. As I look ahead, our 125th anniversary is fast approaching in 2030. Now is the time to set ourselves up for success for the rest of this decade and beyond. Our action plan can help, especially at the club level. Embracing new technology, new members, and new club models will be key to our success. We have so much to accomplish: eradicating polio, building peace, and improving the lives of those in need around the world. To rise to these challenges, we need to achieve steady, sustainable membership growth. With that in mind, our goal is to reach 1.25 million Rotary members and 125,000 Rotaractors by 2030. Friends, every region and every district need intentionality toward innovative new club models and new club growth. Every club needs intentionality toward meaningful club experiences, retention, and a desire to grow. Every member must be intentional about telling your personal stories and sharing the value of Rotary membership.
When my grandson asked me what I will do to improve the world he is seeing, I want to have an answer. And here's my answer. During this time in our world, when the structures of our families and our workplaces and our communities were changing, I stood shoulder to shoulder with Rotarians around the globe to help create a desire to grow our organization for greater impact. Are you with me? Yeah! Are you with me? Yeah! I know you are. Thank you.
발상하자면 Very Respond 첫 차기 회장님의 말씀이었습니다.
Thank you, President nominee Larry. Let's take these words home with us and make an impact on the world with a strong, growing Rotary. And now, please welcome from the Rotary Club of Barrie-Rowan, Ontario, Canada, aide to the President-elect, Brandon Stiles.
Good afternoon. It is truly an honor and a privilege to stand before you this afternoon and introduce someone I have worked with for almost 14 years, Ola Yinka Hakeem Babalola. But everyone in our Rotary family, we simply call him Yinka. By profession, Yinka is an engineer, graduating in 1988. Yinka worked for Shell Oil in Port Harcourt, Nigeria, and retired from Shell in 2014. After 25 years of service, he then founded an oil and gas infrastructure company, as well as an executive leadership advisory group. Yinka joined Rotary in 1983 and was a Rotaractor until 1993 when he joined the Rotary Club of Transamabi in Port Harcourt. By 2002, he was club president, and he was very successful. At the International Convention in Brisbane at the end of his year as club president, he was recognized for achieving the highest percentage net gain of new members in the world. I met Yinka in April of 2012 when I was asked to represent President Kelvin Banerjee at the conference for his district, when Yinka was district governor, District 9140, to be held in Warri, Nigeria. Even then, I could see that Yinka was destined to be a change agent for Rotary. In his year as governor, his district saw a net growth of 670 members that year, resulting in recognition as one of the top 3 districts worldwide. And again, he was recognized at the Rotary International Convention held in Bangkok in 2012. Yinka has been involved in all aspects of Rotary, from regional Rotary Foundation coordinator to an end polio now zone coordinator to an assistant Rotary coordinator. I don't think there's any aspect of Rotary that he hasn't helped to coordinate. Yinka successfully helped to establish a Rotary Leadership Institute in Africa, and he was instrumental in ensuring that Nigeria and then Africa was declared polio-free. Yinka and Presley have given so much to Rotary in so many ways. They've given up their time. A member of the Rotary family since 1983, working tirelessly to promote Rotary. They've given up their talents, taking on roles of increasing responsibility, and they have given up their treasure as strong supporters of the Rotary Foundation as Arts Club Society members with a named endowment. But even after all those great accomplishments, Yinka and Presley are still as kind and dependable as they were when Randy and I first met them many years ago. With his experience and his enthusiasm, I know that Yinka is ready to lead Rotary. Please join me in welcoming the Rotary International President for 2026-27 from Port Harcourt, Nigeria, Africa, Yinka.
Thank you. Thank you very much. My dear friends and family of Rotary, it is my privilege to introduce you to my family. My wife, Tracy, the lawyer, the past director, the Rotarian, the past president and past assistant governor. My mother,
바로 사계장의 가족을 소개하고 있습니다.
a school administrator. On her 80th birthday 2 years ago, she set out to immunize 80 children against polio. She did about 108 and told me, Yinka, that's an indication that I'm not going anywhere very soon. My daughter, Atiluke, Charter President of the Internet Club of our secondary school, a Rotarato, he would join Rotary at a point when we make. My daughter, Aminat, the past president of the Rotary Club of American University of Nigeria. And my son, Malik, who just completed a degree in international relations from the University of Benin in Nigeria. My younger sister, Yaniyat, the past Rotarato, the first female president of our Rotary Club, a Rotarian, and past president of the Rotary Club. My sister-in-law, Gloria, the teacher with a degree in food technology. And of course, Randy. Bree would like to say, my Randy. But I already told him, Bree, she's not your Randy anymore. She is our Randy. My dear family of Rotary, please help give a warm Rotary family welcome to my family. My dear family of Rotary, my family has not only supported my Rotary journey. There's a significant part of that. When I first met Presley, I saw her across the room at the Rotary event as both of us as Rotaractors. And I leaned over to a friend of mine and I said, that's the one. Since then, our whole family has chosen service as a way of life. And as I honor my family, I want to honor someone whose presence is with us here, despite their absence in the room. And that's my dear friend and brother, Santa. Sanku once said, I do not see myself as a lone leader, but as one link in the strong, unbroken chain. He was and remains a strong link in that chain. A chain of Rotary members who gave more, reached further, and served with greater purpose, generation after generation. Like Sanku, like all of us really, Rotary has changed me deeply. I've been part of the Rotary family for more than 40 years. And I can tell you exactly when Rotary changed me. My club took on the literacy project when I was a young Rotary. We were helping adults in my community to learn to read and write. During that project, I watched a woman hold a piece of paper and read her own name for the first time. That moment redirected me. I was not simply a young man with opportunities anymore. I was a young man with the responsibility to extend those opportunities to others. Every Rotary member has a story like that. A moment when fellowship and service stopped being what you did and became who you are. I want us to tell more stories about how Rotary has changed us and every one of us. Because when we do, we show the world impact. In Rotary, we give members a place. We have students in school that protect children. These results are real and they matter deeply. But my dear friends, to create lasting impact, we need to ask a harder question. What happens next? We turn friendships into lifelong bonds. We help each other change for the better. And we measure not just what we did, but what changed, and whether that change will endure. That shift is what the message, create lasting impact, is about. Nowhere, my dear friends, is that distinction more important than when we talk about peace. Peace must be deliberately pursued. It must be built into the design of what we do, not assumed as a byproduct. Last year, Rotary launched a program of scale in Colombia called Pathways to Peace and Prosperity. It works in communities scarred by decades of armed conflicts, poverty, and forced displacement. The program trains local leaders in conflict resolution. It pairs economic empowerment with peace-building skills. It builds the capacity of communities to manage disagreement and work towards reconciliation together. As one Rotary leader in Colombia puts it, by building peace from the ground up with dignity, opportunity, and trust, we are planting the seeds of transformation that will grow for generations. That is what deliberate peace building is about. And that is the standard I'm calling all of us to bring to our work this weekend. As part of everything we do, we must ask, does this create the conditions for peace? Not just improving lives, but building the trust, the understanding, and the structures that make lasting peace possible. How we must keep our most important commitment. I'm sure you know what that is. We will eradicate bullying. In Afghanistan, medical workers are now using needle-free jet injectors to vaccinate children in communities where fear and distrust once kept families away. And it is working. Innovation is helping us to reach the unreachable. For my dear friends and family, we cannot rest now. Funding is under pressure globally. This is precisely the moment Rotary was hold firm. Every child protected is one step closer to a promised gift to every family on this planet that will never have to know of this disease. In just a few weeks, I will formally assume the title of President of Rotary International. Thank you. It is a responsibility I do not take lightly, and one I could not take on without the support of my entire family. And of course, every one of you. Together, we are an unbroken chain. And to grow, we must forge new links in that chain. As Larry said, we have a goal of 1.25 million Rotarians and 125,000 Rotaractors by 2030. But for the Rotaractors in the group is minimum of 125,000. One of yours is in leadership, you must show something else. Each new member represents a person who has not yet had their voice. They are out there and they are waiting for us to welcome them. So here is my challenge to each and every one of us. Look back at the last 5 to 7 years in our class. In your districts. Find your best year for membership growth and retention. Set goals that enables you to do better than your best. This year is our turn to forge the next link in that chain. Our turn to be changed by growth, to build the future we wish to see, to pursue peace deliberately, to create lasting impact across the globe in our communities and ourselves. Shisha, thank you very much, my dear family, and I hope you are on this journey with us. Thank you very much. Thank you. Before we go, I want to welcome back the current link in our rookie chain one last time. From the Rotary Club of Ragusa, Italy, Rotary International President Francesco Arezzo.
Dear friends, 1 year ago, my English was really very poor. And my knowledge about the role of the president was also very poor. Now, my English is much better. And I exactly know the role of the president. I am ready for another year. There is a problem. How to explain it to Inca? But, now we have come to the end of this convention. And wasn't it wonderful to see Malala yesterday? Her message was so inspiring and supporting of the work we do every day in Rotary. I know that some of you are already thinking about your flights, and some of you are thinking about one last dinner in Taipei. And some of you are thinking, please, Francesco, not make this speech too long. I understand it. And I will try to be wise. Not too wise, but just a bit. But before anything else, thank you, Taiwan. Thank you, Taipei. Thank you to the whole organization committee. To every volunteer, every leader, every Rotary member who helped make this convention possible and wonderful. And thank you to every sponsor. This has been one of our largest conventions in many years, and it did not happen by accident. It happened because people were waiting, adapting, and believing this moment would come. To our host, you have given us something beautiful, and we will carry it home. But the real test of this convention is not what happened here in Taipei. It is what happens when we go home. This year, I spoke often about uniting for good. And these past days, we have seen what that means. Rotary is a meeting place where strangers become friends, and where friendship becomes fast, and where fast becomes action. And if we continue to work together across cultures, generations, and continents, the action we take will help us create lasting impact. And this is why I am blessed that as my year ends, we now look forward to the leadership of Inca. And after him, Larry. I have worked with them, laughed with them, dreamed with them. I am sure that Rotary is in a very good hands. But I want to say something important about continuity. Continuity is not something that begins today. It did not begin with me. It will not begin with Inca. Rotary has always been a change. This year, I did not begin from nothing. Stephanie supported Rotary's commitment to peace. Gordon helped Rotary speak more openly about the mental health. And Jennifer inspired Rotary to tell his story with greater confidence and pride. My task was not to replace any of this great work. It was to continue it, support it where I could, and give it my own heart for 1 year. And now, it is time to pass the baton. I like this image of the relay race. No runner owns the race. Each has a distance to cover. But the most important moment is not the running. It is the passing. If the baton is dropped, speed does not matter. If the next runner is not ready, effort does not matter. Rotary is a relay. We receive, we carry forward, and we pass on. And every generation of Rotarians must leave the organization stronger, kinder, and more hopeful for the generation that follows. But I think we do something else that is so important. We tell the new leader, not just for Rotary International, but all the way down to the club level, we get the chance to see Rotary, our clubs, and the world from a different perspective. There is a beautiful film from Taiwan called Ki. I hope it is. It is a great treasure, and it feels fitting to mention it here. In the film, a 9-year-old boy named Yang takes photographs of the backs of people's heads. When his uncle asks him why, he replies, people can only see what is in front of them. They cannot see what is behind. So I take these photographs to show them what they cannot see. And this is part of what Rotary does. We help the community see a possibility it had not imagined. We help a child see a future without disease. And we help ourselves see what is behind us. The world that came before The ends that carried the baton before the position our road. Every president wants to do many things, and there is never enough time, especially for me. But perhaps this is good. Rotary itself is never finished. If 1 year was enough to do everything, we would not need each other. So I ask you to support Inca as generously as you have supported me. To love him a little bit, not more than me, but to love him a little bit, and to regularly see the world through his eyes. And after Inca, we look forward to Larry's perspective, his hopes and his dreams. The strength of Rotary is not that one person leads, but that leadership keeps moving through us. When I think back on this year, I don't remember first the formal moments. I remember the human ones. Rotarians waiting at airports with music and banners, the little girl in Pakistan, the vaccinators who lost their lives, children in Ethiopia waiting for surgery, dancing in Nigeria, the warmth of enemy welcome. And even when there were difficulties, Rotary was alive. Rotary has never been perfect, but Rotary still contains people who believe that service matters, that peace is possible, that the child they will never meet is still their responsibility, that the world can be better, not all at once, but better. This belief is precious. This convention now is ending, but the work is not. The music will stop, but not right away. We still have a grand finale ahead for you. And the hall, in some time, will end. The lights will dim. We will return to our airports, our homes, our clubs. And then, quietly, Rotary will continue. Your club will meet. You'll begin a new project. Children will be vaccinated. New members will walk in the room, and you will make them feel like they have just come home. We will welcome them, and we will eagerly wait to dream again. That is how Rotary changed the world. Not only through great moments, but through countless small acts of service, carried forward by people who still believe humanity can be kinder, healthier, and more peaceful. Remember that we unite for good. Remember that now we must create lasting impact. Remember that the battle is passive, but the race continues. And above all, my friends, do not stop dreaming. Because the moment Rotary members stop dreaming of a better world, it is the moment the world truly becomes smaller. Remember, you don't just go to Rotary, but you do Rotary. Every day, in every moment. And the work we do together still has the power to touch the heart of the world. As for me, last year in Calgary, I said, I love you. This year, I want to say that I will not forget you. Thank you for this extraordinary year.
지금까지 로타리 타이페이 세계대회 테마식 행사를 하였습니다. 대단히
And there's a couple children climbing steps. One small step for Rotary. Yes, one giant leap for Rotary time. Yes. All of you. Thank you for your inspiring words and your dedication to bringing Rotary to the new heights. And before we can bring out our final entertainers, Benny and I want to thank you for being such a wonderful audience.
You have made this commission a once-in-a-lifetime experience for me, and I have enjoyed meeting each and
Thank you for your support and kindness. Before we get to our last act, would it be okay if Benny and I take a selfie with you? Would it be okay